legal document preparers, and we are by the pool enjoying this beautiful Florida day with our kids, running, screaming, having a good time in the pool. But we just wanted to have an honest conversation about, you know,
the money.
The money.
Yeah, let's
Everybody
talk about
wants
the money.
to know about the money.
So we're going to tell you about the money. We're going to try to shoot you straight on it. I think there might be a little bit of embellishing that goes on, or maybe not. You're not getting the full story on some of the revenue that you hear about, but we're going to tell you about that. We'll tell you about our best days. We'll tell you about what to expect even starting out. So the way we got started was I actually got a notary commission as an extension of selling insurance, and originally was just doing mobile notary services, and which was pretty good. I mean, it would be a couple hundred extra a day, which was pretty easy, and I was using that as just basically lead generation for insurance.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, what happened, I had no idea at all about conducting closings. This was before we had legal document service, anything. Was just doing the mobile notary as an added service. But what happened is my phone started ringing from title companies calling me. They would call me and ask me, "Hey, do you do notary?" Right? Because I was a notary. They looked up. So we had a Google listing. I had a Google listing that my insurance service was also a mobile notary service, and I had title companies call and say, you know, well, we'll pay you $150 if you'll go run and do this real estate transaction. And of course, I figured, well, how hard can it be? And I completely winged it. I mean, winged it. Just did it. I was familiar, right, familiar with documents, familiar enough, but no NNA certification, no E&O, none of that stuff. Just my notary stamp, a set of wheels.
Which is important to note that title companies don't require the NNA certification. They really don't care about your bonds and your backgrounds. They want a mobile notary who's efficient and
the job right.
is going to complete the job.
And to be fair, there might have been one or two there initially that I botched, but I figured out that I didn't know what I didn't know, and that I needed to learn, and then went from there. So first month was pretty good. It was probably a few $1,000s, and that was when I realized there was a whole nother level to that, a whole nother layer to that.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I beckoned Grace to get a commission. I said, "You'll get a commission. This is easy money." And as we found out moving forward, it's actually easier to market notary services both to the public and to title companies than it is to try to sell insurance.
And that spurred our business together. So now we are here. But let's break it down. So that first month, Mark probably did a couple $1,000s on his own. Now me coming in, I went in guns a-blazing. I was ready. I did take my NNA certification. He ended up getting that as well, because we realized that the title companies don't require it. However, the vendors do require it, and that's going to be like they're going to be constantly paging out work. So my first month was probably about equal. We have 4 children, so we have to adjust our schedule, and it was a whole transition period for us. But once we got that down, the two of us together, the next few months, and from then on, our highest months were, $15,000 a month. That was mobile notary work, loan signings, and then of course we tacked on legal documents, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So let's talk about like the average days and prices of like a fee breakdown of what you're getting from a title company versus a vendor.
Yeah, so a title company, whether it's a purchase or a refi, they're basically kind of the same thing. You can expect around $150 more if you are kind of preferred and they would really rather use you. You can have that relationship to where you can get more. We've had all Florida pay us $250 for a single, just because they wanted us. It was like, it has to be you guys, just because they knew we would make them look good. They knew we would be functional, and when you develop that relationship and that kind of trust, you can get those kind of favors, I guess we'll call them. But if you are doing you're doing them through a vendor, meaning that you don't have those relationships or that marketing in place. So they're kind of stepping in basically as I call it your lead generator.
Yeah.
They're going to take a cut. So you can expect on a standard refi right around $90, $100. The average we figure is about $100.
Yeah.
If you're doing a smaller package like a seller's documents, 75 to 100.
75 to 100. Now, there's always the upsell, and we talk about that because I feel like that's where I really shine.
It's your mission.
My mission is to acquire that $25 witness fee. But, you know, I always have him. He can always pop into a closing with me, and it's another 25 bucks. So now your $75 seller side with 20 pages just went to $100 for 20 minutes worth of work. Not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. So our week to week and month to month is pretty much always part-time work, full-time income.
Yeah.
Now we've expounded on that by adding other services, what I call multi-services, that has allowed us to make a lot more and to kind of weather the real estate storms. If you don't know, that real estate markets and the lending markets, they're kind of a feast or famine, or an up and down cycle. And if you were in on the wave and you didn't hedge your bet, that could be problematic. Now, fortunately, we position, and we teach this, to position yourself to add other services so that you are more competitive. You have more to offer other, the general public.
And the money is always lucrative because you're never really missing out on anything. You're always filling in a different way.
So I would say what probably our best day doing mobile notary / loans is probably $800 to $1,000 a day, and it's not like that only happened once. That's happened kind of regularly. I mean,
but that's also not, that doesn't happen every single day as well.
No.
But if you break it down, it's roughly 8 appointments. I like to structure my days when the kids are in school. Of course, now it's summertime, so and we have a couple sitters, so we're not worried about that. But 8 a.m. drop the kids off, go run appointments. Eight of them in between the time that they're in school. It's very simple, and we say this is easy work. It is. The work is easy. It's not difficult to sign legal documents or real estate documents. However, it's not a lazy person's career. You know, you still have to be dependable. You have to have great communication. You have to be driven to be able to go and do these and make these connections with title companies and vendors and be diligent. It's not a lazy person's work, but it's very, very lucrative.
Right. I think that people get
work
confused. Do you need college education to do this? No. But I think what happens is people confuse maybe the economy of motion of it, or how fast a transaction can turn over, with easy. So let me be clear. In my past life, as I call it, I was a nurse. A very hard, very stressful job, very long shifts, nowhere near as much money. Okay, so I'm comparing it to that, and compared to that, this is easy. Mm-hmm. Now, to say that it's just easy in general, not true. Not true at all.
It's not fair to coin it as just easy. Again, you have to be self-motivated. You have to be diligent in what you're doing. And, when I say you go into appointments and you're cross-selling, you have to be able to speak up. You have to be able to pick up what the situation is and see where you can fill in and what other services you can offer.
Right.
So it's...
Read the room, as they say.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about legal document preparation. So legal document preparation has come as an extension of our initial mobile notary service, mm-hmm. which has now become an extension into a signing service agency where we are preparing documents and then turfing them off to other notaries to fulfill the end, which is actually good for them because they don't have to do scan backs or any of that, or print large files. Mm-hmm. But so I'd say one of our best days doing legal documents, probably in excess of $2,000. And definitely a fraction amount of the amount of work time involved. So easier for your time, less driving, yes, but there's some know-how that took place. We had to, one, learn the world of legal document preparation. Two, market that service. Okay, that is the
always.
That is the ultimate skill in any business, is marketing. If you can't market, you're not in business. And I think that a lot of, I'm just going to be real with people, a lot of signing agents come in under getting vendors that get leads for them. never learn to market and they stay there, and then that you're kind of stuck.
And they wonder why, the money isn't coming in, or their newfound business is fizzling out because you're not pushing forward, you're not doing something different. And that's all of what we teach. We've always fostered being able to offer multiple services so that you can fill in wherever the need is. So we really, really press that on people.
Right. And there's good money in just marketing your mobile notary services in your community and being able to stand out and have a presence. I'm shocked that, like, in our community, we are one of the only ones that has Chamber of Commerce affiliation, that has a lot of other things like that they're just simple initiatives that can be taken. So, like, for example, just mobile notaries. Grace got one this afternoon she's going to do.
So it was a lady in the neighborhood across from our neighborhood, so literally across the street. She needs a quitclaim deed signed, and she needs a witness. So, of course, my witness is going to tag along, and we're going to charge her $50 to travel, and we're going to charge $25 for a witness fee. So $75 in maybe a few minutes worth of work.
No printing the documents.
And she found us because we market ourselves.
Right. So these are just facts. This is just the way the business works. Maybe to a complete outsider, it might seem strange or unusual, but this is an everyday thing in our business that we offer, and like the specialties, apostilles, which we did a video where we actually went to Tallahassee and walked inside the Division of Corporations to show, kind of what their office looks like. But this is a legitimate service that you can offer to people if you're marketing it and you have it listed that this is what you do. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to learn. But you don't have to learn it. Nobody's going to make you, so if nobody makes you, you won't do it. But when you do those, apostilles are a great extra income stream to your notary business. It's a great complement to your notary business. It's super easy to do. It's easier than loan transactions. It's more money and faster turnaround than loan transactions. So this is just an example, of course, of what we teach on several different levels.
I was going to say, we offer a marketing course. We offer a legal documents course. We offer the startup if you just want to do, mobile notary, if you just want to do loans. We offer all that to you. And again, we just wanted to have an honest conversation with our audience because, we're always an open book. We don't want to embellish numbers. We just want to tell the truth and say, what your potential could be. So it should be really exciting to you that, you can do anything, which is awesome.
All right, I think that's it for today. I think we beat that topic of what you can make in a month, a day, a week. I think we beat it to death. So we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.